Hi, my name is Olivia Morreale, and you are watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hi, what's up? I'm Sarah from The Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with Olivia Morreale. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Literally, your new EP, I heard it. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm
So,
excited about it.
yeah, it's almost release day. It's not yet, but so close. So, how are you feeling?
I'm excited. Yeah, this project has been a long time in the making, so I'm excited to finally you know, put it out in the world. Just because I think it takes so long to like get everything together
Mhm.
that when it's finally done, it's like, oh my gosh, like the anticipation is it's taken us a while, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and usually when people release projects, they're like sort of on to the next, I guess, in a way, because it's been
Yeah.
in the works for such a long time. So, are you feeling that way as well?
Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of stuff that has taken a similarly long time. But that is it's kind of cool. Like it's taken a new life while I've been working on the visuals for it. Um, for my next kind of stuff, but also this project, like we finished up most of the music before the pandemic, and then like I kind of finished the production during the pandemic, but all of the visual stuff that we did was during COVID, so that was kind of cool to like not reinvent the stories of the songs, but like bring them to life with visual creators that I trust and like collaborators, so that was cool. But I'm kind of doing the same thing with like my next projects too.
And I know, like, with the cover arts, it wasn't you who made it; it was like one of your friends. So, doing that, did you give them an idea for the cover art, or did they like listen to the EP and like draw whatever came to mind, sort of thing?
Yeah, I feel like so the first one we did was No Answer for the single art, and it's the same artist, Megan Broody. She's the same artist for all of the art on the project. And I think I found her stuff, like I was kind of just looking on Instagram, like there's this really cool page like Women of Illustration, I think it's called. So I was looking at pages like that, and like they link to like independent artists, which is like all this kind of like discovery, kind of like your page too. Like it's like whatever. It's an art illustrator discovery page. So I just hit her up. She lives in Australia.
Oh,
Like we've never met, but yeah, we had a lot of back and forth for that first one, which I is my favorite one. Like my favorite single art for No Answer. And I think she just kind of came up with something, and I said something like, I want it to be, I want there to be a character, like I want it to be a girl and something with a phone. And I think that was it. And then she like we kind of just went back and forth. And I sent her like I was like, I really like this thing on your Instagram. So like something like this.
now on to like your music upbringing. I guess you were a huge fan of jazz music, and you still are. So,
Hmm.
how do you feel that genre has sort of like shaped you into the artist you are today?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, first of all, vocally, I think I draw a lot of inspiration from jazz singers. Like that's because I like study jazz too, so that's sort of just like where I start. And like phrasing wise, I just will never not want to like sing it differently every time. You know what I mean? And that's nice because it gives me a lot of liberty. And sometimes it can be limiting in pop music because it's like you do want some repetition and you don't want everything to be different all the time, but it's also nice to know that you can like explore your options. And then I think like in terms of I just played a show on Saturday, like for the first time in so long. And I was like, wow, like, and I didn't think about this until this exact moment, but I think like jazz really helped me to be a better live performer too, just because it's so collaborative when you're singing in a jazz setting and like performing in a jazz setting. But as a vocalist, you are always sort of you're the keeper of the words, like you have the story.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of a combination of both, and I think that's transferred really well into like the way I perform live when I'm performing my more like pop stuff.
And how did it feel to perform live after like 2 years? Like,
It
was it
was
weird?
it was so fun. It was like I mean, I was nervous because all of the songs that we played, I wrote during or I guess half of them were from the EP. And then it was a short set, it was like 30 minutes. But yeah, so we played 2 songs from the EP and then 2 new songs that I'd written during COVID. And I was like, oh, and we used tracks and I was like, I don't know how it's gonna go, blah, blah, blah. But everyone I invited was like, yes, and in bringing 2 people. And I was like, so it was like, everyone was there, everyone was like lit. And I like, wasn't like, I just got up and it was like, let's go. I was like, it's been enough time. Like, and everyone had that vibe. So it was like, it went really well. I think like my chops need to come back a little bit. Like I was like, oh, it takes a lot of energy and also like your muscles have to be warm. But I got on stage and I was just like on the mic, I was like, I'm so happy. Like, are we all so happy? Like, it was great.
Yeah, what was your last concert before like this one, like that you attended?
Yeah. I want to say I saw Moses Sumney at the Bootleg.
Oh my god.
That was the last concert I went to. And then I think the last gig I played, actually the drummer who played on Saturday, we played this like cover gig like on March 13th or something, you know, it was like right before. So I called him, I was like, you have to play, like we're back.
Yeah, I went to a concert that same week, like not before COVID, but like before like everything shut down sort of thing.
Right, yeah. Right. Yeah, it's so wild to think about that because you're like, I had no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I know.
So on to the EP again. I mean, why did you pick Space Dreams for the title? Because it's not any of the singles. Songs.
I think so. This is the EP, the whole EP I co-wrote with my friend Eli Koskoff. And you know, he did sort of the primary production and then I did like production afterwards. And the collection of songs, like by the end of us writing it, we were like, okay, this is like a collection, you know. But I think just to give it new life, the theme of dreams and also sort of like the surrealist stuff that's kind of happening in the music and like the fact that, I don't know, I think like the form is pretty weird in a lot of the songs. Like we just have like in Parasomnia, you know, like there's a bridge, but there are no lyrics really. So like kind of just that idea of like, it's like a little bit off and it's like sort of an alternate universe, like you're in a dream state or something. I thought that title kind of like tied that theme together well because that was kind of what we ended up writing about.
Yeah, totally. And like you said, like dreams is like one of the main themes in the EP.
Yeah.
And you just said that it came after, but like, were you thinking of making like a theme EP or did it just come along the way sort of thing?
No, it kind of just happened. I think like as we were producing, so Matter of Time, which I don't know if you heard that song. Yeah, but it's like the ballady sort of guitar. That was the first song we wrote together. Simple, traditional, like instrumentation and stuff. But as we were writing the other songs, it was like we were producing as we were writing. We were like, oh, let's just try doing this. And then in Parasomnia, it wasn't like we were planning on writing about this. I think it just kept happening in each song. And we were like, okay, like this is now the vibe, like whatever. But in Parasomnia, we definitely, when we were writing that, we were like, oh, this is like the subconscious, which was cool. I feel like that is a unique way to sort of like write it, but it was completely an accident.
A happy accident.
Yeah.
Were there any tracks that didn't make the EP?
Yeah, there were a lot. We kind of have like, I mean, they're all sort of like demo stage still because we were like, but there were a lot of sessions where we met up and wrote stuff that like, yeah, doesn't belong on it. And then we also just like didn't finish because we were like, okay, no, this isn't the vibe. We were like, for so long, we were like, we need a 5th track. And so we wrote like so many songs and then we were like, okay, like this is the set, you know?
Yeah, this is a fun question. I mean, pretty hard one. What is your favorite album of all time?
Oh, hard. Oh my God. What's my favorite album of all time? I think Frank by Amy Winehouse, just because Amy is such a sad story and also such an amazing artist and writer. I just draw a lot of inspiration from her in many ways. I think that would be it, because she really does she brings like both sides of who I feel like I am in that album.
Yeah.
That's
it's a great choice. It's great.
yeah.
So last question, who are your favorite up and coming artists right now?
Yeah, I've been really into, let me think. Again, there's just so many people. I really like McGee,
Yeah.
Mike Gordon, he's great. He went to USC too, actually.
Oh my god, cool.
Kind of the same like scene, but his music is really, really good. I love, who else do I really like right now? Remy Wolf, she's also at USC. Mia Gladstone is one of my favorites. She's really cool.
I love Remy Wolf.
Yeah, Remy's dope. Yeah. Yeah, she was in the pop program at USC too.
No way.
We were like there at the same time, yeah. But her shit is awesome. Yeah, Mia Gladstone. I really like Mia Gladstone because she like is super. I feel like I have trouble being really prolific on social media without getting like really stressed out about it, and like, or like having it be not genuine after a certain point. Like I was streaming on Twitch for a while, like my production process and like writing process, and I was like, there's people watching, you know what I mean? Like for me, like it gives me a lot of anxiety, and then I start to kind of like perform instead of just being. But she's really, really good at like, opening up the conversation and like on her Instagram and like just going live and like trying ideas out and stuff. And like I really admire that. I think that, and like she like makes zines and like is very like DIY too, but like really fun. Like her music is really, really good. So I would say I really love her. But yeah.
Those are great choices.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again. It was so much fun talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.